Well, we're here in San Jose speaking today with Linda Murray about the A to G course requirements. Linda is superintendent in residence at Education Trust West, and Linda was the former superintendent of San Jose Unified, and where she led the effort to bring A to G to the district, make it a standard curriculum. So Linda, thank you for coming, speaking with us today. And first, what is A to G? And why did San Jose adopt it as its standard curriculum?
Well, A to G is a series of courses that students have to take if they want to enter the University of California or the California State University system. Both higher education public institutions require 3 years of math up through Algebra 2. They require 2 years of foreign language, 2 lab sciences, and 4 years of English, among other things. And the A requirements are the social science requirements, the B requirements are math. I may have that wrong, but it's each of A, B, C, D, E, F, G is a list of courses you have to take. And if you don't take them, you cannot apply for admission to the universities.
Okay, so why did San Jose adopt this, and what's been the experience in the time since it has?
We went through a process of public engagement where we talked to our community and our internal and external stakeholders about what they wanted for our children. How good is good enough in San Jose Unified was our basic question. And we spent about a year and a half doing that, and came to the conclusion that we needed to open opportunity up for all kids. That we had far too many students, particularly students of color and poor kids, who were not accessing a college prep curriculum. They were very much underrepresented. And even students as a whole, many were opting to take a much lesser course of study that led to a diploma that really wasn't preparing them for either college or career. So we made the decision in 1998 that beginning with that freshman class, all students would take a curriculum that would prepare them for college and career.
So what's been the impact, and what did you anticipate would happen, and what did happen, and what we're 7 years later? So
right. I'm not going to say it was easy. It was not easy. We didn't have a recipe to follow. No other districts were doing it. We knew we had kids coming into high school who were underprepared. And so we took time to really plan what will it take to make all kids successful, or as many kids as we could make successful, by building a series of safety nets and support systems for kids who struggled, by giving quality professional development to our teachers, by making sure that programs like AVID were in place to give kids a boost. It's not perfect. The district is still working on it. 8 years out from the first graduating class, they're still inventing and reinventing and re-examining practices to make more kids successful. But it's been a worthwhile journey, and all of the data suggests that none of the bad things that people thought would happen happened. The dropout rate did not increase. Graduation rates have held strong and steady. In fact, San Jose is among the highest graduation rate in the country for urban districts. Grades didn't go down. Kids' grade point averages stayed steady. More and more kids accessed advanced placement classes, for example, meaning that they were better prepared to do college level work while they were still in high school.
Mm-hmm. So, but you do have this, the issue that only 40% of the graduates of San Jose Unified actually, they get their diploma. Most of them get their diploma. You mentioned the graduation rate has been high, but only 40% are eligible now to have the grade point average and course load to go attend a CSU or a UC. And for Latinos, it's 30%. Again, higher than the state average, higher than the county average,
right.
But Are we serving these students, and what other opportunities? What happens to these students?
Yeah, the reason why it's not 100% is because kids get a D along the way in one of the core courses that the universities require. They will not accept a D grade for entry. So if you get out of your 4 years of English 1 D, you're not going to be eligible. So that it's not that you're not getting a good education, and not that you're not close to being eligible, and you're much further along the line than you would have been under our old requirements. It's just that some kids will get a D along the way.
So these students then go to perhaps a community college where they are in a better position to transfer.
Absolutely, they're in a much better position to transfer. And the 40%, if you look back before the district adopted A to G, it was under 30%. So it's quite a leap to get that many more kids ready. And for students of color and poor kids, it's been a tremendous boost. Expectations have changed about what kids can do. And you know, there has been a history in our state and in our country of poor kids and students of color being expected to do much less. That's wrong. It's morally wrong. There's no reason for it. There's no basis for it. We should expect the same outcomes for all kids that we educate, no matter what their background. And that's where we come from. That's why we do this work, to allow access and opportunity for all kids.
So you're saying if this weren't the standard curriculum, many of these students would not take the courses, or the courses might not be offered to them, at least the experience in other districts?
Yes, we work all over the state now, and what we find is that in many districts, kids will tell us that they are counseled out of the college prep course of study. They are told they're not going to make it, that they're not, they don't have the background, they don't have the skills, they don't have the whatever it's going to take to get them college ready. So they're actually counseled out. It's not that they don't opt in, it's they're told to opt out, and that happens way too often.
Mm-hmm. So the legislature has twice defeated bills to make this, I guess, a standard. Where is the resistance coming from?
Mostly from the career technical educators, who believe that the A to G requirements crowd out the opportunity for kids to take career technical classes. I don't believe that to be true. It's not an either or, it's a both. I mean, there's nothing wrong with quality career technical education. In fact, there's a lot right about quality career technical education. But students need to have the solid core academics, as well as the ability to access courses that bring relevance to the learning that they're having. Today's economy, tomorrow's economy requires education beyond high school. Kids need a much more rigorous education, regardless of whether they actually go to college right out of high school. They're going to need some level of post-secondary training.
Is it possible in today's budget, with today's budget crisis, to actually for a district to go ahead and adopt A to G?
I believe it's possible. I think it's you know, this is the most challenging economy we've had in California in a long time. So I'm not going to say it would be an easy road to go down. However, I think if you start planning now, put your stake in the sand. That's what I tell everybody. Put your stake in the sand with the incoming 6th grade class, if you will, and take the next 3 years to plan for that entering freshman class. Find the resources. The economy will improve. We're not going to be in this recession forever, and you will be ready for that class when they get there.
Linda Murray, thank you very much for speaking with us today. We'll be discussing A to G, I know, over the next year, and we will like to have you back.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.